use and perceived usefulness, while the trait theory state that entrepreneurial behavior also play a role in decision making. Thus, theoretically, traits factors are able to influence the perceived ease of use and also perceived usefulness of entrepreneur towards e-commerce. We will thoroughly discuss these two theories. TAM, or Technology Acceptance Model, explains the intention and actual behavior that encourages the adoption of e-commerce among businesses. The model was first introduced by Davis in 1989. It's an extension of a popular theory of reason action, pioneered by Asgen. The TRA, or theory of reason action, the main components are attitudes, subjective norms, intention, and behavior. Subjective norm and attitudes constitute the two main predictors in the TRA model, or theory of reason action. In this theory, attitude refers to the level of individual perception of a particular action. Meanwhile, subjective norms are defined as social factors that put pressure or influence individuals' intention. And in contrast, in TAM, attitude measurement was replaced by perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness, to which they serve as predictors of intention. The intention mediates the relationship between perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness and behaviors. In a theoretical sense, the intention to use new technologies is actually influenced by both perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness. And this explains why TAM is widely used in studies involving new adoption of technology. Besides that, TAM also was applied by a number of scholars to examine the behavior of internet users. And in fact, TAM has been used in various disciplines, such as entrepreneurship, ICT, and e-commerce. However, a lot of arguments about the construct in original TAM, where it is argued that the original construct unable to comprehensively explain the diversity of users' behavior. And this is because factors that influence the decision to use e-commerce normally different from those among business organizations, consumer and business organization. They have the factor influence them are totally different. And in addition, the use of e-commerce also among consumers is also regarded as a voluntary decision, while in the organization, the decision to adopt e-commerce is typically based on the instruction of policies. So indeed, various forms of technology have been introduced to the market. These affect the factor that influence their usage on the both consumers and organization. So that the influence factor differ between each technology. This is explain how the influencing factors of the usage of technology are limited to perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use only. So there are, in fact, other factors that require careful analysis in order to offer more factual supported information on the factors that influence the use of technology. This has resulted the basic TAM seen as incapable to make effective prediction on all types of technology users. And this consequently allows for appropriate modification to the basic TAM. And a lot of research in mobile banking especially made necessary modification to this model. Some studies, they added to the model awareness construct, compatibility, resistance, and security perception, consumption, cost, and so on and so forth. And this argument also serves as evidence that many modifications have indeed been made to basic term. On the psychological trait perspective, risk-taking propensity and need of achievement are factors, determinants of perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use, in order to explain the attitude of micro-entrepreneurs in Malaysia towards e-commerce usage. So why adding psychological traits in term is important? The individual psychological factors as the individual's entrepreneurial characters and personality may possibly influence business decision-making activities. As we agree that entrepreneur is a key personnel who determines and make decisions in their business activities. In comparison, the management structure of micro SMEs is dissimilar to medium-sized SMEs and large firms, in which they are equipped with more systematic organization, and they are also rigorously practice a collective decision-making process. For this discussion purposes, two psychological traits was chosen. That's it. The first one is risk-taking propensity. Sorry, the first one is need of achievement, and the second one is risk-taking propensity. Need of achievement is related to the entrepreneur success is related to need of achievement. Okay, and indeed, entrepreneurs with high need of achievement are more likely to succeed in comparison to entrepreneurs with a low need of achievement. So, individuals who possesses a high need of achievement are in reality more motivated when faced with challenging business activities, as they are greatly compelled to achieve their performance target than those with low needs of achievement. On the other hand, from an entrepreneurial perspective, need of achievement does yield a significant influence on business overall performance. Entrepreneurs with high need of achievement experience faster growth than those with low need of achievement. For micro-entrepreneurs operating with limited financial resources and low skill and knowledge typically find e-commerce adoption to be rather challenging task. And the decision to adopt e-commerce is very much dependent on its myriad of benefit. In particular, the effortlessness experience that comes with using the system. And it can be deduced from the past argument and studies that a high need of achievement is certainly able to influence entrepreneurs' perception on the benefits and ease of adopting an e-commerce system. Furthermore, entrepreneurs with a high need of achievement are also more likely to take up new challenges in order to achieve success, as they are generally found to be more willing to endeavor into new activities to improve their business performance. Therefore, it is, I would suggest that need of achievement significantly affects rural micro-entrepreneurs' perceived usefulness of e-commerce and also on the perceived ease of use toward e-commerce. The second trait is risk-taking propensity. In general terms, risk refers to situations that expose to unfavorable effect of uncertainties. Meanwhile, risk situations is about the probability of negative event occur which may affect business internal activities. And on the other hand, risk-taking propensity is defined as the tendency to undertake a risky task with aim of achieving a specific desired outcome. And in view of entrepreneurship, entrepreneur often described as individual who tend or dare to take risks. A risk taker is an individual that is generally confident in making decisions in uncertain situation with limited available information. And any acceptable level of risk is normally determined by individuals and their corresponding risk appetite. And this risk-taking propensity is commonly found in investment-driven decision-making, such as setting up a new expansion or producing a new product for a new market. And individual are often faced with risks and must learn how to deal with them in order to meet their needs and wants. And basic needs of human beings includes items such as safety needs, psychology needs, and as well as self-actualization. As far as achievement is concerned, McLaren argued that performance-oriented individuals work hard so that they may achieve what they desire. These kind of individuals believe that great success comes with great sacrifice, and this idea, which is closely associated with taking higher risks. For micro-entrepreneurs, the decision to be involved in a new venture, especially which are related to technology, is considered as highly risky. So based on the perspective of technology adoption, the decision to use technology or to use e-commerce in daily business activities is considered risky. One argument claimed that a majority of rural micro-entrepreneurs are lacking in funds, technology exposure, and also relevant skill in adopting a new technology, which coupled with limited funds for daily operation. And then this made them exposed to the higher risk of failure. However, a real entrepreneur naturally possesses a high tendency to take risks. And entrepreneurs who have a clear mission and aspiration will consistently strive to avoid failure, whereby they dare to invest in risky decisions in their path toward business success. So using this argument, I would suggest that risk-taking propensity also will influence rural micro-entrepreneurs' perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use. Therefore, in order to increase the rate of technology adoption, in particular the e-commerce adoption among rural micro-entrepreneurs, greater focus should be placed to increase need of achievement and risk-taking propensity of entrepreneurs by conducting active campaigns and entrepreneur culture programs for rural communities, and can also serve as form of strategies to increase entrepreneurial self-motivation among rural entrepreneurs. And in addition, the rural micro-entrepreneurs desire to grow and thrive in business also need to further nurture and enhance. This is because one of the development barriers for many rural SMEs is the owner's own preference to limit growth. Therefore, should this attitude remain unchanged, the adoption of new technology like e-commerce will only serve as another obstacle for the government in the effort to develop rural areas, despite the technology's potential as an enabler of rural development. And aggressive development of entrepreneurial attitude and skill for rural micro entrepreneurs certainly need to increase the viability and growth potential of their businesses. This may include organizing programs that lead to the development of networking skill among entrepreneurs, so that the information, not only business operation but also on available government support programs, can be easily shared among micro entrepreneurs, as they now view each other as peers. And plus, the program can also be jointly organized with local business association to guarantee a wider reach. So both perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness play a major role in influencing the decision to use e-commerce among rural micro entrepreneurs. And despite the entrepreneurs' lack of skill and low level of education, perceived ease of use or ease of use of technology successfully overcame major barriers that previously hindered the use of e-commerce among rural micro entrepreneurs. And I would say that positive perceived ease of use positively can affect the perceived usefulness of e-commerce. Therefore, to ensure that micro entrepreneurs are not left behind in the rapidly booming digital economy, a simple e-commerce platform that suits the size and nature of business preference favored by rural micro entrepreneurs must be developed. So this must be the responsibility goes to the government agencies and industry players, which they can join hands to develop e-commerce platform that can meet needs and suit the need of micro business, and also suit with their level of skill and education. The software, for instance, must be easy to operate and able to give a positive impact to their business. And this criteria, easy to operate, will enhance perceived ease of use, which can positively impact the perceived usefulness of the micro entrepreneurs. So this is the theoretical framework that we can apply, especially in the digitalization of rural micro entrepreneurs effort. So the combination of two theories, technology acceptance, which is portrayed by perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness, and also intention. And this part is on the psychology trait, need of achievement and restocking propensity. So with that, I'm end my presentation. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad Nur Hakimin, for the eye-opening speech. Ladies and gentlemen, the excitement continues with another speech from another distinguished educationist. Please allow us to introduce our next keynote speaker. Dr. Yahya Muhammad Eshaldale was an educational technology assistant professor in the School of Education Studies, University Science Malaysia. Currently, he is leading a research team working on a research project sponsored by University Science Malaysia. At the same time, he has been involved in collaborative research projects where the findings were successfully published in several international Scopus or WOS indexed journals. He holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Education, Educational Technology with merit, Faculty of Education, University Technology Malaysia in 2017. In the same year, he was awarded the recipient of Thesis Merit Award, University Technology Malaysia. Dr. Yahya Muhammad is also involved in integrating several types of digital and online learning tools for blended and online cross-delivery, and at the same time became a supervisor for PhD candidates. He is also an active author and published several academic papers, the main author and co-author of several articles in Scopus and WOS indexed journals. Most of the time, he worked closely with around 1,800 students to design and develop instructional aids and e-learning materials to be used during students' teaching practice. One of his significant contributions was to redesign course content, activities, and assessment plans to move all forms of teaching and learning activities to online learning during the lockdown of the entire campus activities due to the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. Let us now be all ears to his speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Yahya Muhammad Ash Al-Dalai.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good day to everyone. I wish all the good experience for all itec22 participants. This is Dr. Yahya Muhammad Al-Dalai, former lecturer from School of Educational Studies, University Science, Malaysia. I would like to extend my appreciation to itec22 organizing committee for inviting me to present my humble presentation in this fruitful conference. My presentation is about an overview of that experience practiced by education system, by school teachers, by Ministry of Education, by all education-related organizations that at the beginning of the spread of COVID-19 in March 2020. As we all know, COVID-19 has brought a lot of change all our lives in many aspects, in social aspects, in economic aspects, and also in educational aspects. So in March 2020, many governments decided to go for many sectors closure. And we focus on education, where many countries decided schools, universities to be closed as a proactive measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19, which can bring a lot of health troubles to our students around the world and also to our teachers, to all families. So the decision was a sudden decision, and also it was a difficult and challenging decision. As we all know, the importance of education, so all governments, they cannot just close the schools and keep waiting until the reopening again, because many expected for COVID-19 to take a long time. So what happens by governments? They take different measures to continue education, okay? So at first we can say the areas of school closing. So in the pink color, we can say the schools that fully closed. The schools are closed, students are out of schools, and teachers are not going to schools to teach. Also in the yellow color, it is still open, but with a lot of limitations. So this brought a lot of education disruption to around 700 million students, and also to 92 million schools to be closed around the globe. So we can imagine this view. Our classes are empty and our kids are at home. Yes, this picture, it cannot, the kid and the big screen cannot depict all the situation around the world. Not all the kids, they have the good devices. Many students, they have only the phones. This in some best situations. Also, even teachers, they practiced a lot of problems because of they don't have the devices, and also there are no internet connections. So it is clear that even in the best situation, in the big and the good, online and learning infrastructure in the developed countries, in the high-income countries, but still there are many limitations. So it is a sudden shift, and also the failure is expected, but with time it can overcome the difficulties. So the problem is in terms of infrastructure, it brought a lot of trouble to the budgets, the ministry budgets, and also need to support teachers, need to consider students' lack of devices, teachers' lack of devices, also need to consider the strength of the internet connections. So many strategies has to be considered and to take place to continue education and also to reach either urban and rural areas in all countries. So what happened here, if we expect the highly ready countries, they can use the existing online learning platforms, okay? And also they can extend with time. However, they still can move to the second stage, while the moderately ready countries, they can use, for example, the available educational online tools like Google Classroom, like other tools. It's available online, so they can go for it as long as they have the internet connections and also they have the devices to connect to the internet. So this, it can be practiced either by highly ready or moderately ready countries. The countries, they have the online learning platforms, infrastructure, they can use it and they can expand, and also they can move to the second stage of using the available tools online. So for minimally ready or not ready countries, what had happened? They have to take the decision to move education to mass media channels like radio and TVs, and also they can try other ways of teaching their students. And in most countries, many students, they couldn't reach the education. As we understand, the third world countries and undeveloped countries, they still facing difficulties even reaching by TVs. Okay, so we have here the statistics from the World Bank to show us the strategies that took place based on the level of income of the country. So we can say here the high income country in the blue color, they have used 53% of what they implemented was internet only. What we mean by internet, it was using the internet to connect to desktops, to laptops, to telephones, to other, so they can use learning management system, the available of online tools. However, even they are high income countries, but they still use other strategies. Okay, other strategies, namely like TV only, internet mobile phone, TV and radio, take home package, and tutoring, and internet and TV only. Okay, and some countries like upper middle income country, we can say yes, the big percentage was using the combination of 4 remote learning strategies only, and other percentage divided among other remote learning strategies. Low middle income countries, also what they have done, they use mostly 36%, they use combination of 5 remote learning strategies. However, for low income countries, they use combination of 4 remote learning strategies only, okay? While 33%, they use combination of 3 remote learning strategies. So there are a mix of learning strategies. Okay, so now we can say that statistics and the strategies implemented based on the region. So we can say East Asia and Pacific, Europe, Central Asia, Latin America, and Middle East, North Africa, South Asia. suburban Africa, and North Africa. So we can say here, yes, we have in East Asia, Pacific, and also Europe and Latin America, they mostly use internet, okay? But however, they still use other strategies like mobile phone, radio, TV, take-home package, and tutoring, okay? So this percentage going less to Middle East, for example, yes, it used around 7 countries, they use internet. Other countries, they just mixed with other, like mobile phone. Yes, mobile phone is still connected to the internet. Some of them, they use TV, and some of them take home package. This also goes for South Asia and suburban Africa and North America. So just a few countries. Some countries, there is no statistics, okay? So what about teachers? Are our teachers ready to move to online teaching or to other strategies? So we can see here, a few teachers are able to easily translate to online because it is first time for them. Mostly they haven't been exposed to online teaching and to the IT tools. So it's still difficult. Also, teachers working online need to be trained and supported. So they need training, they need also technical supports. They are not used to using ICT tools. So it's difficult for them. It brings them a lot of this depression and a lot of difficulties. But however, they tried, they worked hard to adapt to the new system and the new education norms. Also, our teachers still parents and still have homes and they want to take care of their kids because they are not sending their kids to the schools and to kindergarten, so they still have other work to do. So it is difficult to move to online teaching, to prepare the materials for online teaching, to assess students online teaching, while still other tasks. So it's a lot of pressure to teachers around the globe. Also, teachers still facing problem in some subjects. It's difficult to move easily to online teaching. So still difficult, like I can consider the science subjects and also the mathematics, so still difficult. So yes, in some countries we can still say, yeah, we have a good teachers, they have IT experience, but also many are not. Okay, so what happened in Malaysia? In Malaysia case, it just Malaysia has initiated the Dilemma, the Digital Educational Learning Initiative, that's as a learning platform that has a combination of Google tools and other tools to allow teachers and the students to access education and teaching and learning. Also part of Dilemma, they have the Community Guru Digital Learning Bersama KPM. This also part of that platform, it focus on teachers training. So they have many models to teach or to help teachers to practice how to do teaching using Google, how to prepare learning materials, how to use video recording, and also how to do the assessment. So TGDL is a part of Dilemma containing 5 modules, okay? So it has train teachers how to use Google Classroom and also how to use other Google education products. Also, it helps students to do interactive elements and active remote learning. It tried to help them with the experience. Many workshops took place and also many seminars and broadcasting workshops. Also, there are digital assessments for individual and collaborative works. So teachers are exposed to some workshops to help them how to prepare the digital assessment, either for individual students or for group work. Also, it helps teachers to be used to digital learning environment. So it launched on 14th of April 2020 for all teachers, and it can be accessible for all teachers. And in the first year, it has benefit over 3,000 teachers from around 2,000 schools in the country. Okay, so what happens if we have 5 million students in Malaysia? Their learning are disrupted and they cannot go to schools. So teachers need to promptly get ready to adapt to online teaching delivery mode. So if we consider the background of our teachers and the previous experience is difficult for them. So online teaching readiness is the state of teacher preparation for online teaching. And this is not the case for most of the teachers, sorry. Teachers need to be able to have the skills to plan and deliver an online lesson. So it is critical for teachers, not just to teach, it is how to prepare the learning materials, how to prepare the assessments. Okay, so if we go back to some research about the readiness of Malaysian teachers, Awan in 2018 found that only 1% or less than 1% to 5% of Malaysian teachers have used LMS for blended learning. So it is a very limited percentage of Malaysian teachers has been exposed to LMS or to online teaching and learning. Also, a significant number of teachers who had never used technology for blended learning. Even blended learning, they haven't used. They use only face-to-face. Also, online platforms were only used as a teaching aid tools. In case of use, it was just to aid teaching and learning. So, what are the challenges that faced by Malaysian teachers? Among the challenges, infrastructure, limited bandwidth, internet access, and time. Also, never used online education platform before school closure, need to learn the basic skills to implement online teaching, and also they need to improve their skills for more successful implementation. So the challenges shown by Malaysian secondary school teachers divided to intrinsic and extrinsic. So for internal or intrinsic factors derived from the teacher himself or herself that challenge their readiness to conduct online teaching, while the extrinsic factors emerge from external sources that affect teacher readiness. So this is just to show how we collected the data from secondary school teachers. We implemented open-ended questionnaire validated by experts in content and language, and also aspect being asked challenges in facilitating, interacting, providing feedback. There are around 136 valid responses were collected from the participants, and we used thematic analysis approach, predetermined themes, and emergent themes also. So we have here the findings, the challenges that faced by teachers. If we say here, the big percentage of our teachers are facing the technical access. So the big issue still practiced or difficulties faced by teachers is a technical aspect with 85%. Technical aspects can be divided to internet connections and also to availability of the devices. So we still have a big portion of our teachers, they don't have the devices, and also they have limited internet access. Okay, other percentage like second, we can see the communication self-efficacy. And this just teachers efficacy about how to communicate their teaching online. So it's still difficult for them. Although they have the experience to teach face-to-face, but they still having difficulties to express themselves and to communicate with their students through online. Also, they have technological skills, still around maybe 6% having problem. Only also 6% of teachers having a problem with online lesson plan, and 5% of them with knowledge. So also they have time problem, and also students lesson comprehension, which means they have problem with students focus. They have the concern. They don't know about students, are they participating or they are not. So we have here just some examples of the difficulties faced by Malaysian secondary school teachers. For intrinsic factors like knowledge, one of them express that lack of knowledge in how to implement online teaching and learning, okay, and also how to use the tools. Also, online lesson plan hard to make students focus in class. So it is class management, how to manage students, because teachers, they don't know how their students are really are focusing with them or not. Also, technological skills, not proficient in using Google Classroom. They're still having difficulties. Communication skills also, they don't have self-confidence in conducting online class, and is not the same like classroom. They still differentiate. They use the way to communicate, to teach face-to-face, but for online, it's still new to them, and also they cannot express themselves in a right way. Also, time management is still one of the intrinsic factors, while external factors is technological access, unstable internet connection, poor internet, and also we consider the devices. Students listen comprehension, some students totally ignoring class session but able to online playing game. So this shows how teachers are having concern. Students are playing games while teachers are teaching. Also, the environment is that home environments is not appropriate to teach online, because they have kids. The homes mostly not prepared for teaching. They don't have the separate room to teach, the desk, and also the facilities at home. Okay, so we can conclude that improving the quality of online teaching involves a lot of sectors that play the role together and do not work separately, which means many organizations, many sectors then can work together to come up with a project or plan to make online education more easier and more accessible to everyone. Also, it is imperative to provide teachers with training and professional development that improve their ability to conduct online teaching in a best way, because if teachers are able to teach online, mostly students will get better learning. Because if teachers cannot teach in a right way, teacher will not get the concept. Also, the technological access to the devices and the internet connectivity are vital for the success of online learning. Yes, we understand we have now, the schools are reopened and the situation is stable. But however, we need to have a long-term plan. It is not just going back to schools, but also schools need, and education system need to consider the blended learning, because we need to keep the experience of our teachers to continue and to be improved in expectation of some like crisis, like natural things, like what happened during COVID-19. So we need to be prepared in better way. So need to continue using online teaching and learning, even in a small part of schools teaching and learning. So what we recommend in our after our findings, the perspective from students, parents, and other organizations such as telecommunication providers and devices manufacturers views need to be investigated, how to help to make the situation better. Also, need to make a workforce that can make a report in how the situation happened and the strategies, how successful it was, and how to improve. So this is our recommendations. And also we need to consider 5 principles for reimagine learning. First of all, need to ensure remote learning technology is fit for purpose. Not all technologies are appropriate, so we need to focus in technologies that fit with purpose and also with our students and teachers' ability. Use technology to enhance teachers' effectiveness. So we need to select the technology that easy to use, and also it has many features that help in improving teacher effectiveness, like two-way communication and also interaction with their students. Also, need to consider providing training for teachers to improve online courses delivery and online assessment with technical support and request. Also, need to establish meaningful two-way interaction and need to engage parents and students as partners in the teaching and learning process to help teachers to take care of the students, either to study in the blended system at home, or how to help students how to use these tools, and also to rally all actors to cooperate for learning. So for more reading, you can go to those 2 studies that published last year. This regarded to our study at USM, and thank you for having time to listen to this recording. Thank you.
You may proceed to your designated channels. We will see you this afternoon in itec22 closing ceremony. Thank you.
di mana soalan pertama iaitu membaca doa kunut adalah sebahagian dari rukun qauli dalam solat. Hanya 28 orang pelajar yang menjawab sangat tidak setuju, 8 orang pelajar tidak pasti dan 21 orang pelajar kurang pasti. Manakala 26 orang pelajar ataupun 25.7% sangat setuju dan 18 orang pelajar ataupun 17.8% pelajar setuju bahawa membaca kunut adalah rukun qauli di dalam solat. Maksudnya pelajar yang faham bahawa doa kunut adalah bukan dari rukun qauli hanya 36 orang pelajar ataupun 35.6% sahaja. Ini menunjukkan pelajar keliru dan kurang pemahaman berkaitan rukun qauli dalam pelaksanaan ibadah solat. Kajian ini bertepatan dengan kajian yang dibuat oleh Muhammad Suhardi bin Jusuh pada tahun 2001. Beliau mendapati bahawa tahap pengamalan solat fardu adalah berbeza-beza di kalangan pelajar. Begitu juga hasil dari pemerhatian yang dijalankan terhadap responden dan didapati ramai dalam kalangan responden tidak memahami dengan baik bacaan rukun qauli dalam solat. Begitu juga soalan nombor 3. Bacaan tasyahud awal adalah termasuk dalam rukun qauli. 24 orang pelajar ataupun 23.8% pelajar menjawab sangat tidak setuju. Dan yang menjawab sangat setuju ialah 29 orang pelajar ataupun 28.78%. Dapatan kajian ini juga selari dengan kajian Raziah binti Muhammad Nasib pada tahun 2016. Menjelaskan penguasaan bacaan rukun qauli dalam solat dalam kalangan pelajar pada tahap sederhana dan perlu kepada kaedah pengajaran dan pembelajaran yang menarik bagi meningkatkan penguasaan bacaan rukun qauli dalam solat. Simpulan dan cadangan. Berdasarkan jawapan pelajar dalam soal selidik yang diedarkan, didapati hampir separuh pelajar kurang memahami rukun solat atau tidak dapat membezakan antara perkara rukun dan sunat dalam solat. Sebagai contoh, soalan berkaitan dengan bacaan doa kunut dan juga tasyahud awal. Hampir separuh pelajar yang tidak dapat menjawab dengan betul persoalan ini. Justeru, kami yang menulis dan mengkaji masalah ini berpendapat semua pihak perlu memberi perhatian serius dalam membimbing pelajar tentang ibadah solat. Sesi pembelajaran bukan sekadar untuk menghabiskan sukatan pelajaran yang ditetapkan. Tetapi pensyarah yang mengajar subjek ini perlu menggunakan ruang masa yang diberikan untuk membimbing pelajar sebaik mungkin. Ibadah solat adalah antara neraca utama penentu seorang Muslim itu akan berbahagia di akhirat kelak atau sebaliknya. Pensyarah perlu bersedia dan merancang dengan teliti untuk memastikan di kalangan pelajar mampu dan faham berkaitan rukun qauli dalam pelaksanaan solat. Pensyarah perlu membantu dengan menggunakan alat bantu mengajar yang sesuai. Contoh video dari rakaman atau YouTube, memuat naik gambar-gambar pelaksanaan solat pelajar bagi memastikan pelajar dapat menguasai dan memahami serta mempraktikkan amalan solat yang lengkap dan sempurna. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Sekian, terima kasih.
Terima kasih diucapkan dan tahniah sekali diucapkan kepada Al-Fadhil Ustaz Ruslan bin Yahya. Jadi kita membuka sesi soal jawab sekiranya ada sebarang pertanyaan yang ingin diajukan kepada pembentang. Dipersilakan.
Nampaknya tajuk kita ni hampir sama berkaitan dengan solat.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih kepada Al-Fadhil Ustaz Ruslan, sahabat. Cuma saya, ialah maknanya rata-rata pembentangan ini tajuknya lebih kurang hampir sama saja. Termasuk dengan saya tadi pun Al-Fatihah tu maknanya dalam konteks rukun qauli jugalah. Cumanya saya nak mendapat sedikit penjelasan lah, maknanya apakah yang tindakan kita lah bila kita tahu pelajar ni tak faham, tak mengerti. Tadi saudara Ustaz senang bagi cadangan lah, yang macam-macam cadangan lah. Itu cadangan maknanya adakah apa-apa tindakan yang telah pun dilaksanakan bagi memastikan pelajar ini menguasai dari sudut hukum rukun qauli dalam solat ini. Okay, terima kasih.
Okey, terima kasih sahabat saya Ustaz Zahari. Terima kasih juga doktor. Pada pendapat saya lah, mungkin sebenarnya kita agak terhad kalau kita lihat dalam silibus kita yang sebelum ini kita ada pendidikan Islam. Kemudian pendidikan Islam ini dihapuskan.
Ya.
Dan kita hanya ada dalam mungkin dalam subjek sains teknologi dan kejuruteraan dalam Islam, yang dalam subjek tersebut ada sedikit masa yang diperuntukkan untuk berkaitan dengan ibadah solat ini. Mungkin jugalah peranan pihak JPPKK saya rasa perlu mengembalikan semula subjek pendidikan Islam ini untuk dipelajari oleh semua pelajar. Walaupun ada pihak kata kita dah belajar lama, di peringkat sekolah rendah lagi belajar, sekolah menengah belajar. Tetapi kita lihat realitinya, ramai pelajar kita yang sebenarnya tidak faham berkaitan dengan ibadah solat ini. Jadi pandangan saya lah, kita perlu angkat perkara ini ke peringkat yang lebih tinggi lah untuk mengembalikan pendidikan Islam ini menjadi antara subjek yang perlu dipelajari oleh semua pelajar. Sekarang ni kita ada, tapi untuk jabatan-jabatan tertentu sahaja, bukan keseluruhan lah. Sebab saya lihat sebenarnya ada juga bukan sahaja pelajar, di kalangan mungkin di kalangan masyarakat yang kadang-kadang dia ni jadi imam. Dia jadi imam solat, tetapi apabila dia jadi makmum, daripada pemerhatian lah, ada yang waktu baca Fatihah, dia hanya kita lihat pada cara dia mengerjakan solat, tidak bergerak pun bibir dia membaca Fatihah itu. Sedangkan itu adalah rukun qauli yang perlu dibaca dan dipertuturkan oleh yang mengerjakan solat tadi. Sekurang-kurangnya didengar oleh telinga dia sendiri. Tetapi ramai berlaku dalam masyarakat kita yang mungkin tidak faham tentang perkara ini. Dalam soal selidik ini pun ada soalan tentang adakah berkaitan dengan membaca Fatihah di dalam hati. Dan ramai juga pelajar yang mengamalkan. Daripada jawapan pelajar itu, hampir separuh jugalah yang mengakui mereka membaca Fatihah, membaca tahiyat akhir dalam hati, tidak dipertuturkan oleh lidah mereka. Wallahu a'lam.
Baik, saya memang setujulah dengan apa yang diperkatakan oleh pembentang. Dan kita sebenarnya perincian tentang sub-topik yang berkaitan dengan solat ni memang sepatutnya dibuat kajian. Cuma saya lihat dari perspektif metod penyelidikan, saya rasa penggunaan skala 1 sampai 5 tu kurang bersesuaian sebenarnya untuk mengukur kefahaman dalam konteks rukun qauli. Jadi untuk saya rasa lebih tepat sekiranya kita buat soalan ya ataupun tidak. Kan? Tapi saya rasa memang sepatutnya ada usahalah di peringkat semua politeknik dan kolej komuniti untuk membuat kajian-kajian yang berunsurkan perincian terhadap solat. Ada lagi soalan daripada peserta kepada pembentang? Kalau tidak ada, saya ucapkan tahniah sekali lagi kepada Al-Fadhil Ustaz Ustaz Ruslan bin Yahya atas pembentangan yang sangat baik. Saya persilakan pembentang seterusnya Al-Fadhil Ustaz Zulkifli bin Ahmad Musa untuk